Hello everybody, I'm Skip Alzheimer and welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime streaming show where we watch old 16mm films and delight in what we see and comment on what we see and learn how to convert our ages to Roman numerals. But if nothing else, I'm hoping that we're learning how to read and write Roman numerals. That's one thing I tell my interns is like, you might not learn any other part of this, but at the very least it'll be this one thing. So anyways, that was what we just watched were some miscellaneous home movies that seemed to take place in the Cape Cod, Provincetown area, Massachusetts, and they were having a grand old time. Yeah, home movies are one of the things I really like because they document how things really were. Excuse me. And they sometimes just let the camera run. And so you get to see stuff that you wouldn't normally see in a TV show or a feature film or a newsreel. So, yeah, that came from a fellow collector, Albert Stagg, who's based in Massachusetts, and he would go to estate sales and eBay and acquire home movies. So happy that we're watching those. And it was in beautiful shape. Really, really pretty. Beautiful Kodachrome color. Just really nice. Not every film we have in our collection is nice. And this next film is kind of an example. We kind of did a raw transfer of this. And we didn't color correct it. And you'll see why. This film, I often joke that sometimes people run film through a projector and then clean it with sandpaper because it's so scratchy. So you see, in this film, you're going to see splices, you're going to see faded color, you're going to see green and white scratches that are thick, and those are emulsion scratches, so basically the emulsion's being taken off. You might see like very thin black scratches, and those are base scratches, so they're on the other side of the film, and that's kind of a shadow of a scratch. And you can clean up the base scratches sometimes with some sort of fluid like Perk, which is dry cleaning fluid, which has the correct index of refraction or reflection. I can't remember which one. Basically, it fills in and it disperses those things. You can also have a diffuse light source that helps with that. You can also use isopropyl alcohol to fill in the scratches temporarily. The white and the green scratches, however, that's emulsion being stripped out, and there's not a way to replace that because that information is gone. You can run it through some digital software that might try to fix it, but it's a crapshoot because it's going to be guessing at what's missing. So, anyways, that's AV Geeks, man. We geek out sometimes, and that's what we're geeking out about. So this is Children of Paris, and as you can see, this film has been run. And as we say, it's beat to hell. So, enjoy.
This is the city of Paris. One day in June, the school bell sounds, and just as it does everywhere, it sounds the start of summer vacation. Let us spend this summer with the children of Paris. Children everywhere live much the same, and yet their life is different. Many activities in a French child's life are special to growing up in France. For 250 years, almost every child in Paris has seen this puppet show.
Oh, il est passé. Sultan! Allez, dépêche-toi. Sultan! Allez, viens. Viens, ma grosse belle, viens.
The puppets dramatize a story of good and evil.
Tu seras puni. Ce trésor m'appartient.
avec mon serpent.
This story is special to France. But as in most children's stories, evil ones are defeated and the good are joyful. Though many experiences in the lives of children in Paris are different than those in America, many things are the same as growing up anywhere. Things like playing in the park, helping care for baby sisters, and playing games. As all children do, children in Paris also get dirtier than mothers think they should. Everywhere, growing up is much the same. Growing up takes time. When we are very young, life is much the same all over the world. But we do grow, and there are chores to do. Perhaps walk the dog, or go to the baker's for the family's bread. There are few big bakeries in France. The bread comes from a baker you know, right around the corner. The markets almost come to you. Three times a week, all over Paris, fresh vegetables are sold in the streets. This girl is doing some shopping for her mother. Finding a good bargain is a responsibility and an adventure. For most children, helping with shopping is part of growing up in Paris. But family duties are soon finished. What do you do when work is done? It's time for fun. Not every French boy has a boat as fine as this. Sometimes, the things one learns in school can help to fill the hours of a carefree summer day. Every French child studies art and drawing, and most of them enjoy a bit of practice on their own, especially when he can earn a few coins. Practice can sometimes be more satisfying when it's your own idea. Every town and city has something to inspire a young painter. As all children do, a French child likes to share his accomplishments. And with whom better than Grandpa? Très bon, says Grand-Père. Perhaps someday your work will hang in the Louvre. It is a place you must visit. Open to all, The Louvre is probably the most famous museum in the world. The art it holds is the pride of all Frenchmen, young and old alike. Today, Paris will have a parade. On the 4th of July, many towns in the United States celebrate America's freedom with a parade. Paris celebrates the freedom of France with a parade on the 14th of July, which is called Bastille Day. The children of Paris love the excitement of a parade as much as any American child. This beautiful church is called Sacré-Cœur. In English, you would say Sacred Heart. It is a very famous building in Paris. Today is a special day for the children who have gathered here to receive their first communion. For this honor, they have worked hard to learn the teachings of their church. They and their families are feeling very proud. It is an occasion for celebration, for eating ice cream, for taking pictures, and for being happy. Many of the buildings in Paris are hundreds of years old. They are old, but they are clean and well cared for. This part of Paris is quite far from any park, but this would not keep children anywhere from having day after day of summer fun. Summer is a time for nature, a time for doing whatever you feel like. It is a time for imagination. A time when every child can be a hero. For children in Paris, for children everywhere, summer is a time for freedom and a time for friends. But summer is a time that ends. In fall, the school bell sounds again all over the world. As all children do, the children of Paris feel that mixture of sadness that summer vacation has ended and excitement about the new school year ahead. We all share many of the same feelings. Life is different in Paris, and yet it is very much the same wherever we live and grow.
So that's the technical term is beat to hell. um, no, actually, yeah, a lot of emulsion scratches there. And so what happens to create that is generally there must have been a stuck roller. And that roller, the film was rubbing against it, and it was building up dirt. And then when it builds up dirt and you have film still going across it, then you start scraping off emulsion. And so that's probably what happened there. And it happened multiple times. Same projector. And yeah, it's problematic. But I remember going to a film conference, and it was this kind of rural Mexican cinema presentation, and there was this film that supposedly was super popular, and they would show it every week at this nightclub. And they digitized it, and they showed it, and it was like they were in a bamboo prison, in that there were just lines, like green lines all the way across, and there was a little tiny bit of information that you could see, and it was tragic, but it was also great to see, because these films are physical things, and so they record what they go through. It's the same with videotape, audio tape, photos. They take on whatever their surroundings are, and you share a photo with a little kid who just ate a chocolate bar, and now there's chocolate on the photo. You watch a film so many times. It's like the people who got a record as a kid and they played it to where it literally could not be played anymore. The grooves got so worn down that they couldn't play. Same thing with film. It's a physical thing. It's sad. We strive toward the pristine, but sometimes I don't mind having something that's been handled. I used to go to thrift stores and buy records where somebody had written on the back and had rated the songs and rated the performers. Usually it was young girls. Or they had drawn on the cover. That type of thing I really like. It kind of personalizes the film. So, thank you, Mitch, for the coffee, and happy birthday, Chuck. I just read that it was your birthday. So, I just found out yesterday that I have more films than I thought. I had somebody go through and catalog a bunch of films that I have in the basement, and somehow, for some reason, didn't log them in my database. So when I'm doing inventories to see if I have stuff, I realized, oh, none of that's in there. So that's probably 500 films. So happy, I got 500 more films just by noticing that I had not logged them correctly. And then behind me, this film showed up in the mail, courtesy of the Northeast Historic Film Archive in Maine. And this is a film that was in their collection, but they don't need it. It's not pertaining to what they collect. They collect things related to Maine in that region. And this one is just a general industrial film. So, well, not industrial film, sponsored film. So this film, oops, I didn't change the name of it. That's weird. Yeah, let's watch it. It's longer, but it's in beautiful color. So it is. Hold on. The Newest Home in Town. Enjoy.
Lay masonry has always been the mark of a better home. Brick homes have traditionally been found in the better sections of any town. They have the advantage of permanence, protection from fire and the elements, and lasting beauty in many colors and textures with practically no cost for upkeep to maintain its initial beauty. Lower insurance rates, greater resale value, and no periodic painting are also features of clay masonry construction. With a trend towards air conditioning, the heat-holding capacity of clay masonry units lowers air conditioning and also heating costs. Now, a new structural clay product has been introduced, designed to better adapt the age-old advantages of clay masonry to the design trends of the present-day building and housing market, and to make possible the more economical construction of one-story brick masonry homes and structures. This is the SCR brick. It is one of the tested and proved results of a $1.25 million industry-wide research program. A sound investment which is providing better and lower cost brick homes. The SCR brick is designed to build a solid load-bearing 6-inch wall. This 6-inch width is important because it gives us the required wall thickness with the use of a single unit. The longer 12-inch length also gives additional economy. The SCR brick development followed exhaustive time and motion studies and structural analysis, both of which indicate that its use will reduce construction costs, that it is structurally sound and will maintain the appearance and quality long associated with other types of brick and clay tile construction. A test wall is subjected to pressure by a 1 million pound testing machine and withstood a pressure of more than 100,000 pounds per foot of wall length without displaying any tendency to buckle. A usual roof load in a typical one-story residence would rarely exceed 1,000 pounds per foot. Horizontal strength tests were conducted to determine wind loads that the wall would withstand. Loads up to 62 4/10 pounds per square foot were obtained. This is equivalent to a wind velocity of 156 miles per hour. About 90% of all the homes built in the United States are of the modern one-story type, for which the 12-inch long horizontal face size is particularly well suited. All recognized national building codes as well as modern local codes permit the use of nominal 6-inch masonry walls in one-story dwellings. These codes are the American Standard Building Code requirements for masonry of the American Standards Association, the Uniform Building Code of the Pacific Coast Building Officials Conference, the Basic Code of the Building Officials Conference of America, the Southern Standard Building Code of the Southern Building Code Congress, the National Building Code of the National Board of Fire Underwriters. This type of construction is also approved for Federal Housing Administration or FHA insurance and Veterans Administration or VA insurance. A wall height of 9 feet to the eaves or 15 feet to the peak of the gables is approved by these codes. Architectural students of Iowa State College, under the supervision of their instructor, Mr. George Winterroad, took part in a competition. The objective was to design the best house plan involving the techniques of SCR brick construction. Professor Leonard Wolf, head of the department, and members of his staff judged the entries. Ideas from the winning drawings were incorporated by the Structural Clay Products Institute into a plan for a 3-bedroom house designed to be built in the Midwest in the $12,000 price range. The plan is laid out so that all wall lengths and opening widths are in multiples of 6 inches, thus eliminating the necessity for costly cutting of brick into odd-sized pieces. This initial planning is a most important step towards realizing the full economy of construction before placing the blueprint in the contractor's hands. The construction of this SCR brick home will be made step by step to show you how easy and economical it is to build with SCR brick. The site is laid out and construction will proceed in a conventional manner. In general, no new principles are required in the use of SCR brick for one-story homes. After surveying has been completed, the basement is excavated. Forms are built and the footings are poured. The footings were reinforced with steel bars placed not closer than 3 inches from the bottom of the concrete. In areas where wet basements may be a problem due to a high water table, clay drain tile should be placed around the outside of the footings to carry the water away. These drain the soil moisture away from the foundation area into the storm sewer or dry well. The basement walls are constructed in the conventional manner. Ordinarily, this is an 8-inch thick masonry wall. Building up from this 8-inch basement wall, a convenient method of providing bearing for the floor joist is to use Norman brick. This brick is supplied in the same color and texture and the same face size as the SCR brick. Since this brick is 4 inches thick, it leaves another 4 inches for the joist bearing. Between the joists, common brick or other suitable 4-inch thick units are installed to keep the foundation width. Where a 10-inch thick basement wall is used, the SCR brick are set directly on the wall, flush with the outside edge. The remaining 4 inches provides an adequate bearing surface for the joist. In basementless homes where slab on-ground floors are used, an 8-inch foundation wall is always adequate for one-story construction. A fabric or metallic sheet known as flashing is placed around the home at the base of the wall. This flashing will stop moisture traveling upwards from the foundation walls due to capillary action. Also, any moisture which may collect at the base of the wall will be transmitted to the outside. Now comes the SCR brick, starting the first course at the floor level. Weep holes provide an exit for any moisture which may collect at the flashing. A good method for making these weep holes is to place a piece of cotton wicking or sash cord in the vertical mortar joint every 2 feet. This acts as a wick, permitting drainage, but prevents air currents which would lower the resistance of the wall to loss of heat. Top economy in the use of SCR brick is realized when the wall lengths and the opening widths are kept in multiples of 6 inches. Thus, only full and half-length SCR brick are required, eliminating the expense of cutting odd lengths and the unsightly appearance which often results. The mortar used in masonry construction is very important, since it serves to bond the brick together, permitting the wall to perform as a homogeneous unit. The type of mortar or mixed proportion used will depend upon the job requirements. There is no such thing as mortar that is best for all purposes. A handhold for the mason is provided by the large core diameter and their arrangement. The finger spread is the same as required in handling standard brick. Some masons, however, prefer to span the whole width of the brick with their hands. This coring reduces the tendency of the unit to slide, or as in the trade language, float, on a very wet mortar bed. It has been found that masons can lay 450 or more SCR brick per 8-hour day. thus increasing their efficiency 60 to 100%. This represents 100 square feet or more of wall area per day. This means that one mason can come to work in the morning and lay up this wall before he leaves for home in the evening. SCR brick are designed so that the vertical joints between brick occur at the midpoint of the units above and below. This is known as common or half bond. This common bond works out just right when turning corners. The 6-inch width makes it possible to turn corners without cutting any brick. This is one of the time-saving construction features that lowers the cost of construction. The joints are tooled to harden their surface and to press the mortar against the edges of the adjacent brick. Concave joints are generally considered the most weather resistant. Tooling the joints also adds to the appearance of the wall. Window sills should be flashed and should also be caulked as a precaution against moisture penetration. The finished sill may be brick, stone, slate, or any other conventional type. The slot in the end of the SCR brick is designed to provide space for the weather stop needed on both doors and windows. This is commonly known as the jam slot. All metal windows have a fin or blind stop extension that works nicely with this jam slot. It may be used, if convenient, when wood windows are placed, but if not, the windows may be set as in any rough masonry opening. A lintel is used to support the load over openings such as doors and windows. Several types of lintel construction may be used. A steel angle lintel with a 6-inch horizontal leg is ideal for supporting the SCR brick. Reinforced brick lintels may be used in SCR brick construction over limited spans. Steel pencil rods are inserted in the mortar between the first and second courses of brick. Another method is the built-up wood lintel. This may prove to be the simplest and most economical to use. Above all, whether the lintel is made of wood, steel angle, or steel rods, the loads to be carried should be carefully computed, and the design should follow recommended methods. One-half-inch bolts spaced 8 feet apart are embedded in the top 6 courses of brick. These are used to anchor the continuous 2x6 plate. The bolts should be staggered to help correct any warpage or bowing. The plate anchor bolts are tightened by hand rather than with a wrench. At this point, the roof is placed on the wall. Trussed rafters were used so as to eliminate any interior wall-bearing load. Furring is done with 2x2-inch softwood strips. This furring will support plaster, drywall, paneling, or whatever interior finish is desired. Clips are used to fasten the furring strips to the wall. These recommended types hold the wood furring strip out from the wall approximately 1/4 inch. This provides a moisture block and also provides for air circulation back of the strip. Three types of clips commonly used are the wraparound clip, which is nailed to the furring strip from each side, the staple clip, onto which a furring strip is pounded, and the plug type clip, which takes a up-to-date development in the clay products industry. Farm home construction is ideal with the use of the SCR brick. Rural areas, too, are turning to this brick. Why? Because the fireproof construction plus the new economy offers the needed combination for farm homes. SCR brick is also finding use in one-story structures other than homes, for beauty, for permanence, for fireproof construction, for low maintenance. SCR brick houses are finding acceptance everywhere. All over the nation, this is the modern trend. In the southeastern areas of the United States, the SCR brick is rapidly replacing other building materials, at the same time offering higher quality and better appearance at no greater cost. In Georgia, South Carolina, and even in Florida, thousands of homes wear the long, sleek, low look of the SCR brick. In the Hudson River area of New York, there is locally available an 8-inch long SCR brick. This unit is designated as SCR brick Type SM. It offers the same advantages of high quality and low maintenance as the standard SCR brick. It offers substantial economies to home-hungry New Yorkers. Even our Canadian neighbors are discovering these many advantages. The wide range of insulating values made possible with this wall makes it adaptable from the hot, arid regions of the Southwest to the extreme cold found in Canada. This beautiful motel, located in Halifax, Nova Scotia, is but another outstanding example of the range of possibilities with the SCR brick. In Detroit, the suburb of Willowbrook is being built of SCR brick. This $40 million project includes 2,000 3- and 4-bedroom homes. Over 300 of these homes were sold before the first house was completed. Also included in this project will be a school and a modern shopping center constructed entirely of SCR brick. Chicago was the scene of the first SCR brick house in 1952. Lombard Villa in suburban Chicago includes 200 2- and 3-bedroom SCR brick houses. This shows the widespread acceptance of this new product. There is hardly a town in the Midwest area that does not have one or more of these SCR brick houses. In many areas of Iowa, Minnesota, and Nebraska, these are being built at a cost of no more than wood frame. In Austin, Texas, an air-conditioned village is demonstrating the insulating value of the SCR brick wall. This brick has also proven its value in the construction of outdoor planters, garden walls, and fireplaces. In the Denver area, street after street of SCR brick homes are springing up. More than 15,000 of these homes, now in the definite planning and construction stage, have been announced for the metropolitan area alone. They are attractive to the eye and easy on the pocketbook of smart, home-buying Coloradoans. Since 1952, in the Washington State, British Columbia area of the Northwest, several thousand SCR brick homes have been built because it is now possible to build with brick at a price comparable to quality wood frames. Truly, from coast to coast, the SCR brick is a building product that has become established more rapidly than any other in construction history. Following the tradition, brick homes continue to be found in the better sections of any town. There will now be one difference. Because of the economies afforded by the SCR brick, there will be more of these better sections of town housing more people. Now, if you can afford any house, you can afford an SCR brick house.
So, SSS, triple S, stands for Standardized Sanitation Systems. That's for the film I showed yesterday. So, I stepped away when they explained what SCR stood for. It's a trademark from the Brick Institute of America. It doesn't stand for silicone registered rectifiers. It's like a style or size of brick. Let's see. I mean, you guys can answer because you were listening, paying attention. I missed that fine point, but the key to that, of course, is that it was cheaper with this process and the size of brick. I think the size of brick also changed. They were able to bring down the cost of brick houses, and so this is a big deal when you're building giant developments. And a bunch of them were made out of brick at that time. So there you go. What do we got lined up here? Got a little bit of time. Let's learn about carbon and its components. Carbon being one of the important bricks of organic chemistry in us. Enjoy.
A diamond, a lead pencil, a chunk of charcoal. Three different things, yet chemically the same element, carbon. What makes them so different from each other? Of the three allotropic forms of carbon, the diamond is the hardest. In fact, diamonds are the hardest substances known. Diamonds are nearly pure crystalline carbon. Besides their desirability as gems, diamonds are also valuable to industry because of their hardness. Abrasive wheels containing diamond grit are widely used for grinding hard substances such as metals, glass, stone. Harder than any of these materials is the diamond, almost pure hard carbon. Now, what of the lead pencil? The so-called lead is really carbon in a softer allotropic form, graphite. Graphite differs physically from the diamond, but chemically is the same, almost pure carbon. Besides its use as a writing material, graphite has a number of other uses. It is slightly slippery to the touch. When powdered, graphite makes an excellent lubricant. The diamond is the hard form. Graphite is a softer allotropic form of carbon. Charcoal is one example of the third allotropic form, amorphous carbon, which is very soft. Amorphous carbon is an extremely black substance, which in the form of lampblack or soot is widely used as a pigment in paints and printing inks. This is the most nearly pure form of amorphous carbon and can be obtained from any kind of animal or vegetable matter. Sometimes the soft amorphous form appears hard, as in coal, which is mostly carbon, vegetable matter that has been compressed over a period of centuries. In the glowing coals, chemical reaction produces carbon monoxide, CO. This inflammable gas burns in the presence of more oxygen to form carbon dioxide, CO2. Carbon dioxide is a colorless, odorless gas, and in contrast to carbon monoxide, it is non-inflammable. It does not burn because carbon dioxide is itself the final product of combustion. CO2, compressed in steel cylinders, has many uses. When carbon dioxide is forced under pressure into water, it reacts with water to produce H2CO3, carbonic acid. You will find a cylinder of dilute H2CO3 behind the counter at your neighborhood soda fountain. When pressure is released, the reaction is reversed, and the carbonic acid quickly goes back to water and carbon dioxide. This reaction causes effervescence in carbonated beverages and changes the taste. Besides combining with oxygen, carbon combines with many other elements. For example, with chlorine to form carbon tetrachloride, CCl4, and with sulfur to form carbon disulfide, CS2. Both are very volatile and widely used as solvents. But carbon disulfide is highly inflammable, while carbon tetrachloride is often used to extinguish fires. The compounds of carbon are more complex in such things as petroleum. Here, carbon is combined with hydrogen in the form of hydrocarbons. Petroleum is a mixture of many different compounds of carbon and hydrogen. Hydrocarbons and compounds derived from them are known as organic compounds. From just carbon and hydrogen come many thousands of organic compounds. How can this be? For our answer, let's examine the carbon atom itself. Of course, you can't exactly see a carbon atom, but we can represent it something like this. Carbon has a valence of 4. That is, it attaches itself to other elements through the sharing of electrons by 4 covalent bonds. The element hydrogen has a valence of 1, so the simplest hydrocarbon is a combination of 1 carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atoms attached by single bonds, which may be represented like this. This compound is methane, CH4, sometimes called marsh gas. All the atoms are connected by single bonds. Carbon atoms also have the property of attaching themselves to other carbon atoms to form more complicated compounds. Thus, 2 carbon atoms and 6 hydrogen atoms may combine to form another compound. This is ethane, C2H6, and is known as a chain compound. Propane, C3H8, is obtained by adding another link to the chain, and butane, C4H10, by adding still another link. As more links are added to the chain, many complex compounds are formed, all from the 2 elements, carbon and hydrogen. In addition to chain compounds, hydrocarbons have other arrangements. For example, ring compounds. Benzene, C6H6, is one of the simplest of these ring compounds. Note the double bonds between some of the carbon atoms of this compound. At times, carbon atoms are attached to each other by triple bonds. Acetylene, C2H2, is an example. Another factor accounting for the tremendous number of organic compounds is that the same atoms may be arranged in different ways. Take butane, a regular chain compound we've already seen. These same atoms may be rearranged with a side chain to form isobutane. The chemical formula is still C4H10, but the properties are different. These variations are known as isomers. Some organic compounds have hundreds of isomers. So much for hydrocarbons, that is, compounds of carbon and hydrogen alone. Adding still another element gives us many more organic compounds. Let's go back for a moment to our simple methane molecule, CH4. The addition of 1 atom of oxygen to the structure gives us a completely different compound. This is known as methanol, or wood alcohol, CH3OH. These 3 elements are the materials that go
Sometimes that happens. The ending of a film is clipped, and suddenly it just comes to an end. Thanks everybody for tuning in today. We watched A lot of great stuff. Learned a lot about bricks and children in Paris and what people in the 50s did in Cape Cod and Provincetown. We'll be back again tomorrow, Wednesday, and we've got more films to show you. So many more films. Oh my god, I just had added 500 films to the list, which means it's going to take even longer to watch all these films, provided I don't get new films in the mail all the time like I did back here. It's a burden, but I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I appreciate you buying coffee. Coffee is a great way to reward us. I have to go back down into the basement and search for a print, which I supposedly have 3 copies of, and I've only found 1 copy of, so I have to kind of get dirty, because the basement's not so great. I haven't shown pictures of it because I'm not really proud of how it looks at this moment, but we're working on it. So anyways, you can go to ko-fi.com/avgeeks and buy us coffee. You can also go to avgeeks.com, and we have DVDs for sale there, and we have other things online. You can also hit the thumbs up or the like button or the subscribe button or the whatever button, the button, to say that you like us, because it's so desperate that we know that you like us. I can tell that you like us, but I want to see the metrics, or Google wants to see the metrics, or YouTube wants to see the metrics. And anyways, everybody have a great rest of your day. It's nice here. It's a little chilly, but it's nice, not humid, like muggy like it was yesterday. So everybody take care, and we'll see you soon.